Welcome to October's Leetcode Challenge. Today's problem is repeated DNA sequences. All DNA is composed of a series of nucleotides abbreviated as ACGT. For example, this example here. When studying DNA, it is sometimes useful to identify repeated sequences within the DNA. Write a function to find all the 10 letters long sequences, substrings, that occur more than once in a DNA molecule. So here we can see like this element here is like a 10 letter long sequence. So rather than thinking about this as a string or even a substring, just think about these as different elements that we're going to be checking for duplicates in each one. So really, it's like we already kind of know how to solve this. If these were all integers, we would use a hash and just figure out if we've seen these before. And if so, we're going to append them to our output. So let's go ahead and think about how we would write that. First thing we would do is have some sort of lookup, and we're just going to make that a set. And then I'm going to have my output, right? And that'll be a list. So we need to kind of virtually think about this as elements inside of our substring, right? So let's get the length of our string. And we're going to say for I in the range of, it needs at least 10, a length of 10 for our substrings, all the way to n. And we actually need a +1 here to account for the substring splice. So what we're going to do is say, all right, check our string from I minus 10 all the way to I. And that's going to be a length of 10 substring, right? And what we'll do is say, look, if this substring is inside of our lookup, or rather I should say not in lookup, then we're going to add it to our lookup here. So we'll just add that substring. Whoops. Okay. Otherwise, we have seen it, so we're going to add it to our output. But notice that we might get repeats, right? And if we get repeats, I'm pretty sure they only want to have us return the distinct sequence. So to do that, I think we can just make this into a set, and we'll say, okay, if we haven't seen it, then add it to our output. And we can actually say else if, same thing, not in output, then add it to our output. Finally, we just return what we want this in a list format, so we'll just convert our set into a list, and that would be it. So this looks like it's working. I know it's out of order, but that shouldn't matter. Let's go ahead and submit that. And accepted. Now there's a way to simplify this. Instead of having two sets here, we could use a counter object. So let's see how we might do that using counter. We would still do this same for loop here, but what we would do instead is take our substring and we'll make this into a counter. So now we'll have all of our possible substrings of length 10 inside of our counter. So we'll call that what? Count, I guess. And what we'll do is say, if the value inside of our counter object is greater than 1, then we'll output it. So for key value in dot items, we'll say if the value is greater than 1, then output it our value here. And that way we'll only get one of each. So we don't need to have two sets here. So let me see if this works. Oh, I gotta initialize our length of S. Oh, not our value, obviously. We need our key. All right, so this should work. Looks like it's working. Let's go ahead and submit that. And accepted. So in terms of time complexity, same thing. This might save a little bit more memory, so let's go with this solution. All right, thanks for watching my channel, and remember, do not trust me, I know nothing.